Hi everyone, I am here with another video of me using my December Scraptastic kit. I'm going to be scrapping a picture of my two dogs and one of my cats, who seems to think she's a dog. Or I don't know if she thinks she's a dog, but she seems to get along very well with the dogs to the point where she sleeps with them, snuggles with them, gets warmth from them. She's just kind of a weird cat. And I have to tell you, I scrapbooked this about a week or two ago. I can't even remember at this point, but so I might seem a little off as far as knowing what I'm doing here, but I do know that there were a couple of things that happened on this layout that made me not like it as much as I would have if I wouldn't have made those mistakes. So basically, I wanted a dark background, and I really like that gray paper. And I saw lots of people using this Amy Tan paper by cutting out the different angles and, pasting them down. Lots of people use them at the top and at the bottom. I decided to just put it in the middle as kind of like an anchoring piece for my photos. And so I'm going to use two pictures. One is where I get a shot of all three of their rear ends. And it was funny because right after I took the picture, Runa was like, what are you doing? And she literally got up and turned around, so you can see Runa, who's the cat. In the bottom picture, she's the one that is now facing me. But in the first photo, they were all, their rear ends were showing. And so I'm trying to figure out how to lay my photos on those angled strips. And I decided, okay, I'm going to try something different and put it underneath, like at the top, so that it's kind of top heavy. And I just didn't like that. Like, I felt like, I don't know, I felt like it was falling, or it was not, I don't know, because of the angles and where the weight of the photo and everything was, that it almost looked like it was not straight. It just didn't look right. So I decided to cut a few more, and I'm putting them underneath and kind of keeping them a little separate from the top one. And then just sticking the photos back down. So I like that a little bit better. And then I'm trying to use these stickers, and here's where I make my mistake. So I'm looking at those hearts down there, and I think, oh, those colors look really pretty, and there's some grays and reds and greens, and it helps, open up my color palette for me. And there's even some of these arrows, or little chevron-y arrow type things. And I'm like, yep, those will help bring, some more color into the layout too. And so they look great. And then I decide, yep, I'm going to take them off, and yeah, they're clear. So when I lay them down on that dark paper, it darkens that color palette that I thought I was going to have. Now it's almost like there's just some weird colored dots at the bottom of the page. You can barely even tell that it's really, yellow and red, and I can't remember what other colors are there, the different grays. But I really wanted the brightness from the yellow and the red, and when I laid the stickers down, it did not look as good as I wanted it to. So here I'm using these L Studio stickers, letter stickers. And I wasn't sure what I wanted to title this, but I just kind of put at the bottom that it's too funny, and then, or too silly. And then at the top, I call it, because I took a picture of their rears, I called it rear shot, I think. These animals just crack me up. I could sit there and take photos of them all day long. My two dogs, Annabelle and Molly. Molly is the bigger dog, and then Annabelle's the beagle. They're always together, always snuggling together, so you can always get really cute pictures of them. And then when you add Runa into the mix, it's just hilarious. There are times where she'll take a spot on that bed right there, and if the dogs aren't there, they don't know what to do. Like, they don't usually get on the bed if she's already on the bed. Usually it takes them being on the bed, and then she tries to jump on there with them. But if she's already there, they're like, you're on my bed. And we've even caught Molly like laying off on the side of the bed waiting for Runa to leave. But anyway, so then I've got that camera, and again, it looks great with the white behind it, but I'm like, at this point, what can I lose? So I put it down, and then I was like, ugh, and I tried to take it up, and I'm like, nope, not happening. Those stickers are really sticky, and I'm sure they'll just rip the paper. I think at one point I actually do try to take the top one off and realize it's pointless. I mean, it's not too bad. It's just I was hoping for a little bit more brightness in the colors. But now I'm going through this embellishment pack trying to find something that looks good. And I like that Love, Love, Love. It's gold. That seems to work well. Just trying to play around and see if there's anything that I can use, especially up at the top where, I don't know, there's just that blah sticker up there now. It's almost hard, too, to bring in anything bright now that I've got those stickers at the bottom and the top that are, were meant to be bright, but they're so dim. Just looking to see if maybe there's anything that could go under that love, since it's, it's just kind of lost into the dark gray paper. But I do end up just putting it down without it. I'm trying to get the little insides of the O's and the E's out. And here's where I try to take that off, and it's like, nope, it's going to rip the paper. So I just figure I'm living with it at this point. And I don't totally dislike the layout. I think it's not bad. I just wish it was a little brighter. Trying to see if there's anything I can do to highlight Runa turning around there, but I didn't even really tell the story of how Runa turned around, or maybe I did in the journaling, but it wasn't like the main part of the story. The main part was just the fact that I looked down and there was the 3 animals with their butts showing. Still trying to see if there's anything I can put up in that top left corner. I love the flare in the kits this month too. In fact, I think it revived my love of flares. So I kind of go back and forth with flares where sometimes I just feel like they're too big and bulky and they don't look right with an embellishment cluster, because typically everything else is flat for me. But I do go back and forth, and for some reason in this kit I loved all of the flare. I don't know that I end up using anything on this, or using the flare on this layout, but I do love all of the flare that came with the kit. So I'm adding my splashes of Heidi Swap Color Shine Black, and it looks like I'm gonna add some gold maybe. Oh, maybe not. I decided not to, or there we go. I thought I did. Just a little bit here and there. The gold actually does come out pretty good on that gray paper too, so I did decide to try and add something in this corner over here. I wanted to be able to add in the date, and there was, I don't know, I just wanted something down in that corner, so I'm just gonna stamp the date in the I think that's a Becky Higgins, yeah, the Project Life date stamp. I really like the font on that one. And I put that down there, and then I end up cutting off the excess. And then I'm trying to use that other piece just to bring it somewhere else, use it up. And it seems to go pretty well up there in that little corner, so I'm just going to leave it there. And I do end up outlining it just because all the other papers are outlined. Oh, and I think that's what I'm talking about right now. Yep, so I'm going to pull out a pen and go ahead and do the outlining. And then I think, yeah, I'm going to try to find some things that I can put around that label with the date on it. And so I'm going to add some dots. Trying to go with some of those similar colors that are in those stickers that I had put down earlier. Adding some of the drips of gold and black to make it match the other clusters. And I had added some more of the dots in the other sections, the enamel dots. So I'm just showing you, and I know the lighting's bad. There's some still shots here, so. And there's some more coming. So, okay, well, this is the layout, not my favorite, but it's not bad. So I'm glad to have the photo scrapped. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.